This is the 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X. And what better exterior color to have on this particular truck than desert sand metallic, since it's off-road capable as it is. You also have the obsidian rush interior. You have that nice white, not only on the piping, but with the contrast stitching right there. You're also going to have some red contrast stitching. Hopefully that shows up well on the camera. Now the advantages here within the interior, obviously a lot of space because the cab is so long. That means a lot of leg room for driver and passengers, but you also have the seat, the storage under the seats right here. Also the in-seat storage on both sides. One of my favorite features here. And we're also going to see the nice large bed. Spray-in bed liner, 12 tie downs, 6 on each side, 3 in the front, 3 in the rear on each side. So obviously a lot going on there. And I really have to say, this has to be the best tailgate in the industry. The multi-pro tailgate that has so many advantages, and you consider the fact that you can add the kicker audio system. It may not be here, but it is available. Or you can have lights back here, LED lighting, just like you have within the interior of the bed to begin with, that is shining forward into the bed. Kind of hard to see today because it's nice and bright out here. That has its advantages and its disadvantages, but we've got the nice large step here, probably the best I've seen. It really does a lot better than Ford's that is maybe half that size, if not less. And the thing about it, it's very sure-footed to be able to hop up into this large bed by simply grabbing the grab handle right here. You don't have to pull that out of the tailgate, put it in place and do all that stuff. It's just a lot easier. It feels more stable, that's for sure. So let's take a look at what else we have here. Obviously, we'll run back here real quick. LED tail lights, you're gonna have that. LED lighting all over the vehicle. So that makes it pretty easy to know. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, gonna have those nice large turn signal indicators right there. That's why you want to use those. It makes you look like not only a great driver, but you look cool because they look cool. And you do have the air curtains built in right here. That's going to help a lot. And then when it comes to pulling out the F-150s, the Ram 1500s, the Nissan Titans, and the Toyota Tundras, well, you've got this right here as far as your red tow hooks go. The AT4X logo right there. And then with the nice large GMC logo here. Here's something that I really like. The forward-facing camera, that front camera, and right here, that's the camera washer. And if you're saying, okay, going off-road, that could get dirty. What do I do in that case? Well, let's take a quick look, and I'll show you exactly how that works. It's actually very simple. Give me just a second to get set here, and we will take care of everything and get the cameras up on the screen. Hang on here, let's do this. All right. So we're doing this in real time so you can see how this works. We're going to go to cameras right here. Come on. There we go. And the front camera is up. So what you're going to do is go to your turn signal lever. That's how you turn on those things I was showing you earlier when you're driving around. But you're actually, in this case, looking for this button. So you're going to hit that button. That's what's going to happen. Every time it runs the windshield washer fluid across the front windshield, it's going to automatically use that front camera washer, no matter if you have it on the screen or not. And obviously, you're going to know what's under the hood by simply looking at the badge right here, the standard engine that comes with this truck, the 6.2 liter V8. 420 horsepower, the torque numbers come in at 460. It is obviously four-wheel drive, and power makes its way to the ground, or to the wheels, I should say, ultimately through a 10-speed automatic transmission. And what about MPGs? Like I said, owners are probably not that worried about it. 14 city, 17 on the highway, 15 combined, and 6.7 gallons of gas for every 100 miles driven. So if you're careful out there, that might not be too terribly bad. Now let's see if I can do this one-handed and close this. 275/65 on the size of the tires. So 275 on the width, 65 on that very large sidewall. It's a 32.5 tire, 32.5 inch tire wrapped around the 18-inch wheels. Gonna have that GMC logo there in the middle. The AT4X logo should be right here. At least that's what I think. That logo right here, not literally, but you know what I mean, that wouldn't fit there. but instead of the GMC logo, that's what should be there. And then we do have the gloss black mirror caps here, the body colored door handles. You will have the chrome button right here. That is passive entry. That's going to allow you to lock and unlock the vehicle very easily. We'll show you right here. Here are your power folding side view mirrors. So you can push that button right there that I just pushed, and then you can see that the mirrors do fold in. Obviously, you have everything here with the remote you probably expect to see, including remote start. Let's do that. Let me show you how to use that in case you don't know. There are people out there who don't. So you got to make sure the truck is locked, and then push it once, twice, hold it down the second time, truck starts right up. Now, there is one little trick that I want to show you here in case you don't know. Again, this is for people who maybe haven't had this technology before. So you're going to hop into the truck, and what's going to happen? So if you go to put the truck in drive, you're going to notice nothing happens. That's because you have to actually hit the start button for everything to come to life, so to speak. So for those who haven't had this kind of technology, that's for you. For those of you who already know, I'm sorry, but it's good to let people know what's here because not everyone knows what you do. And when it comes to off-roading capabilities, not only does this truck have the Multimatic suspension, the full underbody skid plate protection that you got a good glimpse of earlier when I gave you the undercarriage shot, and you do have the beefy leaf springs back here. Check this out. Look at the size of those leaf springs. That's definitely going to get the job done. You can see a little bit of the word Multimatic right here. I don't know how good of a shot I can ultimately give you of that. We'll do the best we can, but that's not all that we have here. This is a carbon composite bed, so it's going to take a beating that it wouldn't take otherwise and survive without problems. That's good. Also, to help with the off-roading situation is going to be the fact that you have 11.2 inches of ground clearance. That's 2 inches more than what the conventional AT4 would have, so that is good. You have almost 10 inches of suspension travel in the front, nearly 11 inches in the rear. Very helpful. And then when it comes to the practical side of things, well, that is all still here. You've got the bed step, the bumper step, one on each side, and then the Multi-Pro tailgate. Now, I did tell you a little bit about this earlier. Here's that light I was talking about that helps to see at night in addition to the light here and other lighting around the truck. And the way you turn that on is going to be right here, or in my case, you turn off. The Multi-Pro tailgate is the best multitasking tailgate that I've ever seen in the industry. So you have a table right here, or a way to have whatever you need extending out of the bed if this isn't enough space, or if you want to actually use something to help keep it in the bed, well, there you go, another bed extender, except it's going to stop here, keep things from falling out of the bed potentially, but that's not all we have here. So obviously you can open this tailgate in the conventional manner, just like this. It's a little slow as it comes down, being dampened. There you go. And then, oh, you know what? Wait a second. Let's do one more thing here. We're going to do this one more time. I'm going to get that down a little bit faster. You also have the extender right here as well. So you can use that the same way as we showed before, except in a different position. So a couple of different options there. Now, this is how you obviously set up that step that we were looking at earlier. Very easy to do. You just reach right up here. You don't have to reach and pull anything out of the tailgate like you do with the F-150s. The handle right here makes it super easy to hop in and hop out. You also have the power outlet right here. And obviously you can't see it right now, but all of the connections down there for towing, for trailer lights, all that kind of stuff, it's obviously all here. This truck is great as a family hauler, as an off-roader, and a traditional pickup truck. And I fooled you, didn't I? You thought I wasn't going to give you the numbers on payload and towing. 1,420 pounds as far as your payload goes, and 8,900 pounds on towing. And something that I really like here, you may or may not know about this, but if you really want to know what you can tow in every situation, that's what this sticker is for right here. It gives you the information on how to know what you can tow based on how many people are in the vehicle, based on how much payload you have, based on so many different variables. Yes, this truck can tow 8,900 pounds, but that doesn't mean 8,900 pounds in every single situation. So, what do we have here with the interior? A lot of space with these door bins. There's a cup holder here, and then a cup holder on the other side. Nobody is going to go thirsty in this truck. Trust me on that. Soft touch materials right here, a nice solid armrest, very comfortable, and then we'll hop up in here and take a look at what else we have. Two more cup holders right here. I told you nobody was going thirsty. And then what do we have here? Another two cup holders and the fold down armrest. Now you do have the dual air conditioning vents here on the rear of the center console. Could those stand to be a little bit bigger? Probably so. Not a big deal. I'm not going to sound the gong on that, but maybe in the future when GMC fully redesigns this truck, these Sierras, maybe this could be a little bit bigger, a little more airflow back here for the rear seat passengers, especially here in Northwest Louisiana where it gets very hot most of the year, especially during the summer. Speaking of heat, when it is cool like it is today, the rear seat passengers on the outboard seats have heated seats. Whoever's sitting here in the middle, well, you're just going to have a cold butt. So it is what it is. Seat back storage in the pockets right here. And then you actually have an Alcantara headliner as well. And the sunroof, conventional size right there. Not panoramic. Maybe we'll see that again sometime in the future with these trucks. We know that GMC has the technology for that. We'll see if they ever put one in. Tell me what you think, if you would like to see that. Okay, and a little bit more space here with the front door bins. A little bit larger, still gonna have the cup or bottle holder. Actually, two of those right here, or whatever you want to put in there, whatever your passenger wants to put in there. More of that white contrast stitching with the white piping, but also the red stitching right here, kind of that baseball style stitching. The AT4X logo will be located here on the doors, and something that's interesting here in my opinion, you do have the AT4X logo here on both front seats on the seat backs. No, that's not going to poke you in the back. You won't even know it's there. But why wouldn't GMC put that on the rear seats as well? I think that should be there also. It just matches the fit and finish of the truck. Heated and ventilated seats here, heated steering wheel, very important on a day like this when it's chilly outside. The AT4X logo here with the door sill, and I like the fact that obviously with this truck you're going to go off-roading. You're most likely going to have people that are going to have dirty boots in the truck, dirty shoes, whatever. Good news, you don't have to worry about dirtying up the carpet because it's really an insert into these floor mats that are here, and you can take that out when you want to. More storage right here, and then the upper and lower glove boxes. Plenty of space in there for your gloves if you need to use that space for gloves. Always wonder why it's called a glove box. Never find gloves in there, and a little bit of storage here as well. We'll grab the grab handle and hop inside. Now you might notice, maybe you haven't seen these trucks for a couple of years and you're saying, wait a minute, on that trim level for that price, there's no wireless charging pad? Yeah, there is. It's right here. And so a little bit of a different spot for that, but it is there. You still have plenty of storage space here. You've got the tray for whatever you want to do with that. You can be polite and serve your rear seat passengers and your passenger over on the right side here snacks out of this tray right here. You could leave it out and gain more easily access to the center console here. A lot of space in there. You've got the power outlet here, more connectivity over here, quite a bit of connectivity throughout the truck. That's always a good thing. In this day and age, you got your one-touch buttons here for everything. I probably don't have to tell you what any of that is, but it is all here. Now, one thing I'm always curious about, what do you think about the shifter right here? Would you rather see this style of shifter? Do you like it? Would you rather see a column shifter? What is your personal preference? And basically the same thing we saw on the passenger side is what we'll see on the driver's side here. Now you will notice, obviously, you've got your controls for windows, for choosing which mirror you're going to adjust, and then I showed you the button right here earlier. You can lock the windows here. Seat memory right here. Your lock buttons, lock and unlock right here. But what don't you see here? Child safety locks. Well, they are on the truck. They're back here on the rear door, and before anybody says, oh, but that's where they've always been. People actually do say that in the comments sometimes. Yes, they have, but you don't always activate them back here. In fact, here's a good lesson based on what we see here. Had I hopped into the back seat area and that door was locked, the child safety lock was activated, well, this one is too. That's why it's in the down position right here. You activate the child safety locks right here. So not only are they on the rear doors, as yes, they have always been, but you activate them here as well. So in that down position, they're active. When they're in this up position like this, towards the lock right there, that means they're not active. Yes, I'm giving a hard time to the SAs out there who have actually said that kind of thing to me before. Now let's see if we can do this and hopefully give you a really good view of the graphics that come up on the screen. Unfortunately, that's a little slow to come up. There it is. So we're getting the graphics here with those animated graphics for the AT4X. So a little bit different than what we'd normally see with the other trucks that you can buy with the Sierra 1500. The 13.2-inch digital instrument cluster, very crisp, very clean. There's your truck right there. And then obviously you have a lot of features and functionality that you can go through here. I'm just scrolling through using this little scroll wheel right here just to show you what all is here. You don't necessarily need to talk about everything, but you can see what's there. Here's your cruise control. You've obviously got the shifter paddles right there. And one thing I want to show you, here are the controls for obviously the lighting all around the exterior of the truck. Here's the control for your driving modes. What exactly are those driving modes? Obviously off-road, that's a given. Terrain. We're also going to have, let's see, I know we've got more than that. There we go, normal. And let's see what else we have. I believe that is it. Yep. Let's make sure we run through all of that, and you probably can't see it right now, but there is a heads-up display right there. So you know there is because you've got the adjustments right here. So there's your heads-up display adjuster for adjusting the height, the information that's on the screen, and the brightness. So I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to do that on a bright day like this, but it is there. So obviously a great feature. And here is the 13.4-inch screen. With Google Assistant built in, you can use voice commands for literally everything here. So whether it's asking for directions with Google Maps or whatever the case is, you can do all of that. You don't have to ever take your eyes off the road to look at navigation there if you don't want to, and you don't have to do anything with entering in information for what you'll be doing driving down the road, any of that. It's all done on voice commands. And then with all of those great camera views, you also have the 360-degree view right here. And then, I mean, the camera views are practically endless. You can see everything you need to see here. Literally inside, or excuse me, outside, every angle possible. Make sure we cover everything here. Let's see, what else do we have? Make sure we cover it all. You can turn your trajectory lines on and off. There's just so much here. It is really cool. In fact, there's one more view I do want to show you. There we go. That's what I was looking for. If you want to know if anybody's sleeping in the bed of your truck, you don't have to get out and look. You can just look from right here. So pretty simple to do. And obviously, all of that's going to come up when you go into reverse. Your cameras are, but the good thing is you don't have to be in reverse for that to happen. Now, let's do this real quick, just to show you how Google works. Let's see how fast she is. Hey, Google, tell me a joke.
Did you hear about the snowman that got upset when the sun came out? He had a total meltdown.
Yep. You can laugh because it's so corny. That is absolutely hilarious. Now let's go into settings right here. I do want to show you something real quick. We're going to go into setting and into vehicles, and you see that you have teen driver mode there. Rear seat reminder, if you want to turn that off, you can. And buckle to drive. The truck will not allow you to go into drive until your seat belt is on. So that's on right now. You can also leave that off, which I'm going to do, not because I drive without my seat belt on, but just because I prefer to have it off. And an overall nice look here with the dashboard. It has the same nice white contrast right there. I would like to see the red up here, honestly, but that's my personal opinion. Some people might not mind. Now, you do have the rear view camera mirror. That has a lot of advantages in that if you have somebody sitting back here, who's in the middle seat, and they're big-headed, not only because they think they know it all, but just because they have a big head and you can't see around it. Well, that's where this is going to come in very handy. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you're used to it, not a big deal at all. And by the way, you do have the power sliding rear window back there and the defroster on the rear window. So a lot of advantages there. A lot going on here that, well, obviously makes this truck worth the price, I believe. The nice start-stop button for the engine for starting and shutting it down. Nice. Looks a little different than what you have with the other trim levels, setting it apart. And then we have our ventilated seats, or that's heated right there. There's the ventilated seats right there. On this day, that's good. And like I said, heated seats and the heated steering wheel. That is beneficial. Dual zone climate control, pretty easy to figure out. I think you know what all is going on there. So what is this truck like to drive on the road with 420 horsepower? Well, why don't we hop out on the road and I'll tell you all about it. And obviously this truck has so much more that I haven't mentioned today. The 2-speed transfer case. You do have the rock rails that haven't been put on yet, so they're going to be on. I just got this truck so quickly that wasn't on here yet. All right, we're going to get out on the road here for our test drive, and the best I can do as far as coming close to off-roading is to hit one of these classic Louisiana highways where it's pretty rough. You can probably maybe hear some of the noise coming from the outside. It's not terribly bad, but you can probably hear a little bit of that. So that's as good as we're going to do. I wish I could go off-roading today and really show you what this was like off-road, but it is what it is. We'll do the best we can. One thing I wanted to cover that I didn't cover earlier, you do have a power adjustable, tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. That makes a big difference. When you're driving this truck, you can definitely tell that it has all the power you could possibly need off-road. It may not be the most power of a truck out there, but it has enough to get the job done. It handles everything very well, but it's an easy truck to get around at the same time. It feels a little bit bigger than it really is because of the increased ride height, being a couple of inches higher than your typical GMC Sierra AT4, but I don't think that's an issue for most people. And even at being what it is and being capable off-road and having everything that it takes with the suspension and the shocks to handle a very aggressive off-roading situation, the tires as well, the ride is still not that bad. So if you're curious about that, well, now you know. And one thing I did want to point out here, though, that I found interesting, not a knock on GMC or anything like that, but I did notice that when you're using the rear view camera mirror, depending on where the sun is, you do get a little bit of a glare. Obviously, you can just move your head a little bit and fix that, but just so you know what's there. But obviously, that is a great option, a great feature. Now you might wonder, well, what does this truck sound like on a smooth road? We're not that far away from being able to answer that question, so let's listen. So now I went from the washboarded road back there, we're onto the pavement now, onto the smooth pavement where it's been asphalted over. A lot better experience. And even at this, let's see here, I've got some room. We'll slow down just a little bit here and we'll give it some gas and see how it does. Not gonna go too hard with it, but this truck does get up to speed with no problem. I'm up to the speed limit right there, 65 miles per hour. A very enjoyable truck to drive, that's for sure. Not only is it completely capable off-road, more so than a lot out there, but it's also going to be great interior-wise. There's all the luxuries and amenities here. These trucks are more luxury trucks than they are pickup trucks these days, but you can still use it as a pickup truck. So all around, it's one of the best multitaskers you could purchase. So tell me down in the comments section, do you think this truck is worth $81,925? Tell me what your answer is and tell me why you answered the way that you did. If you might want to buy this exact truck at Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana, check out the link down in the description of the video. It will take you right to this truck as long as it remains in inventory. By the way, gotta say a special thanks to my friends at Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this truck for the day so I can tell you all about it, and all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to purchase, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.